Hey Scruffy, how you doing? Waiting right at the door this time, huh? Yeah, I stopped looking for you at the window because I can't see anymore. Keep moving into these different positions where I can't see you. So I have your meaty pate super supper. Yeah, you know the super supper, don't you? And mystery meat. Yeah. And of course your kibble. Yep. Yeah, you love your kibble. Got both the Meow Mix and the Kirkland chicken and rice. So, guess you're ready for dinner. So we're about 20 minutes early, I think. So, I guess I'll bring it out now, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna open the door now. On the table. Grab the water. Close the door. Let's change your water, okay? Let's put your new water in. Okay. So, sit down and get the glove on. Okay. So, wow, looks like you're ready for pets, huh? So, the weather was actually nice for once today. So, we are now in the cooling trend for at least a couple days. Unfortunately, I think this might be the coolest day. I think it's actually going to warm up slightly, but we're going to be in this general vicinity for I think 2 or 3 days, and then it's going to start heating up. And we may get another mini heat wave. So I'm going to try to enjoy it while I can. Whoa, there's a bite. Might want a headbutt, huh? Anyway. Oh, got a itch there or something, huh? Yeah, okay. So I got up early today. I went to sleep a little early last night, so because I was kind of tired. I think I've been getting up kind of earlier and earlier and not able to sleep in, so I think I was finally feeling some exhaustion last night, so I was able to go to sleep a little early. But I still ended up getting up too early. But I got a few things done early in the morning, and then I decided to go. Whoa! He grabbed my glove. Yeah, I think I felt the claw there, and he hissed. Okay. So I was beginning to trust you again, and then you had to scratch me. So I think I felt the claw go into the middle finger. So I guess I'm keeping the glove on for at least another month. Another itch. So since I got up so early and I was able to go for my run a little earlier than usual, and since today was cooler, So the combination of going earlier and the fact that it was, oh, there's a bite there. So the combination of being earlier and being cooler lent itself to pretty nice weather for a run. And unfortunately, the sun intensity was already pretty high. So what I found was in the shaded parts, it was actually absolutely wonderful. It was nice and cool, perfect running temperature. But every time I got out in the sun, it was too hot. And unfortunately, my route has more sun than shade. So there's just not enough trees at the park. In fact, actually, there was a crew today doing some pruning on some of the trees. So I actually had to steer clear of them because they had heavy equipment and I didn't want to get chopped in half or something. And then at one point, one of them had an industrial strength leaf blower, and they were blowing around tons of dirt into the air. It got into my eyes, and it was not fun. But overall, it was actually my best run, I think, in a couple months. It's the heat's just been really bad. So I was actually surprised because because of the sun intensity. I was looking at something. I think it's starting to calm down here. So I was a little worried because the sun intensity when I was in the non-shaded areas was slowing me down, but I guess not enough to make up for the nice, cool shaded areas. So my overall time was actually one of my best times. I think I was probably in my top 4 times. So I was actually pretty happy with the run. Yeah, especially considering the last month or so, I think I've been in my bottom worst times in general. So my worst times a couple weeks, I think it was probably a couple weeks ago. I think there was probably a 10-minute spread from what I did today and what I did 2 weeks ago. So that's pretty drastic. And I blame pretty much the weather. So I think the sun is mostly the heat is mostly the big factor in my lack of performance. I'll blame the food poisoning a bit too, but my runs in last week haven't been all that great either. Though they were starting to get a little better, I think, recently, but that's because the weather, I think, has actually been cooler also. Just still too hot. So I think getting ready for your food, huh? Looks like you're starting to calm down, and looks like you probably want your food now, huh? At least you're not scratching me. Okay, let's get your food. It's the brush. And the brush is going through the fur pretty easily today. Okay, I think I'm done. So anyway, I had a good run, and I'm hoping the weather will continue to stay cool enough so my next run is also just as good. Actually, I think my next run may be an interval run. I've already lost track of the days. So I'll probably go out for a bike ride tomorrow. So I think the weather is supposed to be very similar to today. I think a little bit hotter, but on the bike I probably won't notice. The big question is if I will go in the morning or the afternoon. See, I didn't expect to be up so early today, so I think right now actually would have been a perfectly reasonable time to go for a run. So I talked to a gardening expert today, asked him about the dying maple trees, and he's telling me I need to water them a lot more. So I guess I'm gonna have to start doing that. I'm surprised, considering now how many years these trees have been around, and I know we don't water them. I think he was telling me like every other day, and I know we never water them that often. So, but at this point, that tree is not looking good. So, I guess I'm gonna have to try. I don't think I've talked about it yet. So I was talking about my Costco trip. I guess it was last week now, and picked up a whole bunch of items. And one of the items I finally picked up was a new sprayer hose nozzle. So the store finally had them in stock. They've been out for a few months now. I keep meaning to order it online, and I keep putting it off. And I guess it's a good thing because, I found out. So in store, it's like $5 cheaper. So much better deal if you get it in store. So they don't add shipping online, but at least explicitly, I think implicitly, they just raised the price $5 to cover the shipping, which is actually quite a bit, especially if you bought a whole bunch of things. So you're much better off buying in store if you can. But I'm looking at my hoses, and I think I need to get a new end and clamp for the hose so I can screw these nozzles on without them leaking. So I think I'm going to have to go shopping online or something to find new ends, because I noticed that the existing hoses I'm using, they're kind of leaking at the connector. And I'd like to fix that if I'm going to have to change the sprayer. Anyway, so we'll eventually get around to hooking them up, but I gotta water that tree probably at the latest tomorrow. So it's nice that it's cooling down today and tomorrow, so good time to water it. I don't think I'm going to water the whole garden. I think I'm just going to focus on those trees so I don't have to waste a lot of time. Probably should do it after Scruffy eats tonight, but I actually have to return a phone call. I got a message from a relative on my answering machine. I somehow missed their call last night, so gotta return the call tonight. So I just brushed Scruffy's fur, but I'm looking at his fur again, and it looks like it's sticking up again. It's like he has a lot of electrostatic electricity or something that's making his hair shoot out like Einstein or something. So I don't see any more poop, so I guess that's a good thing. So, I don't know, maybe Scruffy's still mad at me though, since he scratched at me today. Not sure what he's mad at me for. Feeding him early. Gave him gourmet cat food last week. So I think he likes the super supper. So I presume they call it super supper because they can basically put anything they want on it and then change ingredients whenever they want, because they don't promise anything. It's just super supper. So I remember reading McDonald's did this with their McDouble. So the reason the McDouble came about was because inflation costs were making their double cheeseburger too expensive, because the extra cheese was starting to cost them too much. And then they decided, rather than raising the prices on the double cheeseburger, which they actually did, they would offer a new second burger called McDouble, which is basically, at first, though it actually depended on region, but at first it was generally a double cheeseburger, but just called a McDouble. But what they were able to do was cut out one of the slices of cheese. So rather than 2 slices of cheese, they were able to put 1 slice of cheese. And then the theory, I think, behind the McDouble was, as inflation continued to creep, they could always cut something else, like the pickles or the onions or the, whatever you want, because they don't promise anything in a McDouble. Just except there's 2 of something. I guess that could be pieces of bread as well. So Scruffy went all the way around. You can still see his tail, but I don't think he's sticking around tonight. So I guess that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.